Thank you for visiting my channel. Today we are going to discuss about a critical topic, Gatsby. In this session, we are going to talk about what is Gatsby, how to install the Gatsby, and also I'm going to show you a small example website. And end of the session, I'm going to integrate the website with an e-commerce store and show the products in a lister page. Let's get started. Gatsby is the number one, arguably the fastest growing front end framework, which was now adopted by many organizations. They are migrating from the React framework to Gatsby. There are a lot of reasons to it. It's an open source, it has an active community base who are developing a lot of plugins and features to it, and also it has a lot of components using that developers can build their page easily, and it uses GraphQL internally. So with the minimum resource or request, we are able to fetch a lot of information. And then it's also famously quoted as one front end to rule them all. But what does it mean? Imagine you are building an e-commerce website which has the below requirements. You have an CMS application which is hosted somewhere else, and your content management is done through the system, and you want to use the content in your website. Let's take Strappy as an CMS application, and you have an e-commerce store where you have the e-commerce functionalities, your catalog, products, pricing, everything resides in that e-commerce store. And you have a blogging framework platform like WordPress, and you want to use a lot of options. You want a lot of options for your themes, and also if you want to connect to your database directly, for example, this MongoDB or Cassandra, all these can be directly connected to Gatsby using the plugins. The Gatsby can collate or integrate all these applications and provide a single framework or front end to you. There are a lot of additional features as well. But before going there, this diagram depicts how the Gatsby framework is able to integrate and provide the output in your website. There are a lot of other benefits like performance. It provides image optimization and lazy loading, to name a few. And then once you build the Gatsby, it will generate a static HTML. So the attacks are non-existent. Accessibility wise, it was recognized by WebAAM as most accessible web framework. Scalability, you can use Gatsby Cloud or any cloud you can deploy, and it's well supported within Gatsby. It is quite astonishing to come across this kind of framework where we can utilize all the external systems and directly use it in the website. Let's see how to make use of it. As I said, it is integrating all the application through something called plugins. The active community is working on these plugins, and almost more than 1,000 plugins are available to use. And once you install the plugin, it will be part of the GraphQL schema within the Gatsby. Using the GraphQL queries, you can retrieve the data, consume it within your page, and produce the output in your website. For example, if you're going to integrate a WordPress CMS, you need to install a plugin called Gatsby Source WordPress, and once you install, all the data, your content will be available as a GraphQL query. You can query the data and produce the output in your website. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create, install, and create a small Hello World website. And then I'm going to integrate with an e-commerce store using the headless APIs. In this example, I'm going to do a BigCommerce integration. Okay, let's quickly get started with the Hello World site. First, we need to have Node.js in your system. So I have already installed the Node.js in my system. So if you type in node-v, I'm getting the version of the Node.js which confirms it's been installed. And next step is to install the Gatsby CLI. This will install the required Gatsby CLI to running our website. After that, I'm going to use the command Gatsby new and the site name, whichever site you are going to build, and I'm going to take a template of Hello World which is available in this GitHub. There are other examples as well. When you get time, just go and explore. Alright, so now the Gatsby CLI is installed, and now I'm going to run the next command which will create the website. Yeah, I've just changed the name of it as already I have one of those folders. I'll create a new website here. It will clone and create this website. It will take just few minutes. After that, we will review the directory structure, how it's getting created. We'll go through some of the folders inside the directory structure, and then I will tell you how to deploy into your outside server or cloud environment, right? So once you compile the code, it's going to generate a public folder with all the HTML. So you can move that folder to any environment, and right away the Gatsby server website will be invoked. It's installing all the required dependencies, and now the folder should be available. Yeah, I'm going to add this folder into my workspace. Here we go. So this is the new folder that got created. As you all know, node modules this is where all our dependencies will reside. The source is a folder where we will put in our pages, components, images. All this comes under this folder. Here, this is the index page, and this is our home page as well, which is going to return hello world. As I said, this is based upon React framework, so this is how it works. Next, static. If you want to put any static content, you can put it here. And one important configuration file is the Gatsby config, where we have to put in all our plugin information. And package JSON for Node.js, it will give you the scripts and how to start the server. As you see, these are the dependencies of this application. All right, we need to run this command npm run develop, which will first compile the code and then start the server as well. Alright, I need to go inside the folder and then we need to run this command. It will take few minutes and then it should create the public folder and also start the server. Let's give it a minute. It's compiling the code and here it is. Yay! Yes, we have created this website and it's returning hello world. As I said, it's also going to give a GraphQL. These are the default data that are available within the Gatsby. As and when you create the plugins, those data will also get displayed here. So if you want to retrieve the name, so no data is available at this point, but this is how you retrieve all the data. Alright, so we are able to understand how to create and start our website. Let's install the required plugins and then we can proceed with putting some components to make our website look good. I'm going to copy a few of my plugins which are created earlier in my website. So as I told, these are the plugins required. So this is to make sure the internal pages of this website is available as a GraphQL. So you can give the path and inside the path whatever data is present, it should be available in your GraphQL schema. And this is the important one where it will help us to retrieve the data from the big commerce. You need to provide the client ID, whatever data is required as a header to get the information, what kind of API version you're trying to retrieve, and also the endpoints. So internally, this will convert each and every endpoint into a respective GraphQL. So I'm going to copy this and put it here. Once you have done this, you need to install as well. It's going to throw some errors, so I'm going to stop the server and npm install. First I'm installing the source file system. It will take a minute. Here we go, it got installed. And then run this command and also save it to your package.json. Just give it a minute, it should be ready. Alright, so I have installed the plugins and I'm going to start the server now to see how the data is getting rendered. It's pretty fast. It's going to serve the page pretty soon. So here we go. You can see there are new folders now in the GraphQL schema. So one is for categories, another one is for product. I'm going to retrieve some of the data from products. I'm going to use name and I'm going to use price. Yes, it's retrieving all the data. This is similar to if you just run the API, it's going to retrieve. The same data is being fetched through the plugin, and it's available as a GraphQL query within our Gatsby. I'm going to use this query to get the data. Okay, yeah, once as this is done, we can add some components and pages. So to make our site look good, already created some components. I'm going to just copy paste all of my folders into the new site. Okay, sorry about that. I'll copy and delete it. Alright, so if you compare, this is hello world and this is a new index file. I'm going to copy from here to here. Okay, what we have done here is created some components like layout, and I'm using one internal component of Gatsby is link. We'll go inside this layout and see what is there. It will basically contain the header and footer, and also a placeholder for the data to get displayed. If you go inside this layout.js, it's a very simple React component which will have the GraphQL to retrieve the title, and it's going to display the header and footer. Right, so this is the header. It will get the path. If you want, you can display all the pages as well, so within this component. And they also created a product list component which will actually query the BigCommerce using GraphQL, and we are going to display it in a lister page. So here I'm looping through the array, and for each and every product I'm creating a cart kind of a structure with a name and price and a view button, right? So I'm hard coding the image. You're going to see the same image for all the products, just to avoid complexity. Okay, so I'm going to start the server now. Let's see whether we are able to get a complete website. One thing I forgot to mention is this product.js file. So from the home page, I'm linking to this URL. So in Gatsby, it's so easy to create multiple pages. It automatically routes to the JS. So all you need to do is create a JS and just give the name/name, that's a URL, to navigate to that page. Gatsby automatically creates the route to that page. And one another thing that I forgot to mention is we need to install the Bootstrap, as I'm using Bootstrap as well. Once this is installed, I'm pretty sure you are going to see the website running. So these are the dependencies of this website. Here we go. So we have a complete website running, and as I said, I've linked the product lister page from my home page. When I click, you can see the complete list of products getting displayed. This is end of the session. You're able to relate how the Gatsby is retrieving the data and showing it in the website. Similarly, you can make use of a lot of plugins available to integrate with any application like CMS, everything. So you can get all the information from this plugin page of Gatsby. I just search for BigCommerce, and this is the plugin that we're using. It has all the configuration that's required to make the plugin work. It has all the data. So if you want the CMS, you just need to write TMS, and it will give you a plugin to install that particular plugin. All right, so the key points or you understood what is Gatsby, how to install it, and from your basic website, how to put your components, how to install your plugin, and then render a working website. Hope you enjoyed this session. Please do visit for more videos from my side and do subscribe. Thanks for listening to me. It's signing off. Ashwin.